Okay, so welcome to eFootball 2022. It's launch day for the new free-to-play iteration of Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer series. It's obviously been renamed over the past 12 months as eFootball, and 2022 sees them go free-to-play. So in this launch edition, we have basically online matchups with a small handful of teams. And we've also got offline matches with, again, a small handful of teams. Majority of the teams are not licensed in the offline mode. And the teams that are licensed are the typical ones, you know, Barcelona, Arsenal, Manchester United, Juventus. Okay, so how does it play? Without sounding too negative, not very well. I played the network test and was very, very concerned. Obviously, it was built as a network test to test the network for multiplayer games, try and make sure they've got their server balancing right. I do feel like the game has come on since that server test, but I'm still worried by the state of play at the moment. We moved to the Unreal Engine. In my opinion, that is a mistake for Pro Evo. I don't know why Konami chose to move across to the Unreal Engine, because what they've essentially had to do is rip up their core gameplay and start again. Now, we had a few years when they first moved over onto PS3 and Xbox 360 where there were several Pro Evolution Soccer games where they were very, very mediocre. Konami eventually found their feet with it, and the past two iterations of the game, 2020 and 2021 particularly, which is essentially a seasonal update of 2020. But 2021, in my opinion, is the best Pro Evolution Soccer game in years. It's got all the excitement in the gameplay. It's got the typical Pro Evolution Soccer build-up. It's got all the option file editing and modding communities. I've been playing it on the PC, and I've got all the Sky Sports mods on there. I've got balls, boots, gloves, stadiums, you name it, it's on there. All the new kits, all the new transfers, the players, you know, chants, things like that. So 2021, in my opinion, is where the bar has been set. Because for me, going back to winning 11-8 and winning 11-7, which in my opinion were the two best Pro Evo games, they dropped off over the years. We finally got back up there with 2021, and then they decided that they were going to go down this free-to-play route with the Unreal Engine. I think it's a big mistake. I don't think this game is going to garner enough players to build enough of a player base for them to make enough money off the DLC, unless they make drastic improvements. Where the game is on launch day, I'm very disappointed, and I'm also highly concerned about the future of the game. One thing that you have 99% of the time you can say with a Pro Evo game is, regardless of how it looks, it plays well. Now, like I said, we had a couple of games in the Xbox 360, PS3 era that they tried to change things up and it didn't work. Those games played dreadfully. They looked dreadful. We don't talk about those times very often. But obviously, Konami have done a lot of work behind the scenes on 2020 and 2021 to get us back to the lofty heyday of Pro Evolution Soccer, back on the PS1 and the PS2, when we used to spend hundreds of hours playing games against each other, doing the Master League, you know, the be a legend, all that stuff was done so well, and they finally got it back up there, and then they've brought this out. I'm baffled, if I'm completely honest. I am baffled, and like I said, I am quite concerned about the future for Pro Evo if this is what they feel the future is. If this is where it's going for the future of the franchise, I will not be following. I will be going back to Pro Evo 2021, and I will stay there. And there's a fresh, well-dedicated modding community out there that update things quite often. I will be more than happy to just keep updating 2021 because, like I say, in my opinion, that is the epitome of Pro Evo. It's got everything. This doesn't have anything on there. The move to the Unreal Engine is a baffling one. The players feel like they're floating. They feel like they're gliding. There's a weird big circle with a pointer on it as you're moving your player. It shows which way your player's eye line is. I imagine. It looks too arcadey. It's far too invasive. Pro Evolution Soccer is supposed to be an immersive game. It's supposed to be an immersive football experience. That's what it's always been. From the sounds, the stadiums, you know, the players, the gameplay itself, the look of it, the fact that you can reduce the visible HUD right down to bare bones, just a scoreboard. This has gone in the opposite direction, and you've got so much happening on screen with visual HUD markers. It's just a mess. Excuse me. The ball and the referee's whistle sounds poor. The whistle's gone back to that weird dog whistle that sounds like it's being done through a bottle. There's a weird sort of bit of modulation on it. The sounds of the players kicking the ball doesn't sound like a ball being hit. It sounds like somebody tapping on the cover of a hardback book. So that needs sorting. Player movement, like I said, is poor. The players seem to glide around. The fact that you've now got complete 360-degree movement, in my opinion, is a negative for this, because players seem to run around like headless chickens. There doesn't seem to be any structure. You're trying to run after a ball. You've got things like pushing the left stick too fast and you knock the ball on too far, or the ball bounces off you. And talking about the ball, one thing that was sold during the lead up to this release was that the ball was no longer stuck to feet as they're saying it was, and it operated as a completely independent entity. So it reacted to, you know, undulations in the ground. It reacted to the way it was hit, where it was hit off. You know, if it bounced off shins, off knees, off feet, off heads. Yeah, you know, it was supposed to react naturally as it would in real life. Bollocks. It doesn't. The ball still sticks to the feet, but it feels more like it does on FIFA. There's almost like a weird sort of like magnetism for the ball when you go near it and it's moving. It sort of like slows down and moves towards you. It's almost like aim assist. The ball's got aim assist to your foot, which results in very disjointed play. The players themselves don't feel like there's any weight to them. They all feel very, very flimsy, and they feel like you're flinging a dummy round in a ragdoll physics simulator. The movement is very, very similar to Goat Simulator. If that's, I can't believe I'm saying that. A football games feel similar to Goat Simulator. The sort of slidey movement, not for me. So yeah, overall summary of eFootball 2022. Very few options in what you can do on it. Gameplay is dreadful. It looks meh. Colours seem washed out. There's no vibrancy in the colours. Grass looks weird. Collision detection with feet and grass is hit or miss. Collision detection with the ball is poor. Collision detection with players looks like somebody just flinging dolls against each other. Yeah, I'm concerned. Apologies that this has been such a negative review, but I feel I've got to be real. As a Pro Evo fan over the years, I had a lot of expectations coming into this, and unfortunately none of them have been met. So please feel free to try the game out yourself and garner your own opinion. But for me, I'm going to give this a wide berth until there's a lot of improvements. So sorry guys, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news when it comes to Pro Evo, but this one's not good. Bye for now.